There's a colleague of yours, Damien, and you should be able to guess. He once, when he was an advisor to me and was explaining to me the value of tightening monetary policy and mopping up liquidity, and that the cost should be absorbed by the Ministry of Finance. And we were arguing late into the evening on a Wednesday afternoon. First Wednesdays of the month, I meet with my executive in my constituency. And I invited him, the invitation still stands, it's about 12 years ago, to come to my executive and explain to them the value of mopping up liquidity and tightening. So he wanted less money in circulation. I said, just come and explain to them why it's good for them. He has declined the invitation today. And I don't know whether you would like to accept the invitation. I'll guarantee you safe passage in. But the point I'm making, the fundamental point I'm making, is that for that whole group of persons who get lost in the shuffling or discussions, the issue of the stability in the system is irrelevant if your income is zero. It's better to have $100 being losing its value over time than having zero, which is more consistent with your stability in your system. And that whole group of persons have to be, and that cohort is a weak word in terms of what they represent within the society. So in terms of formulating our policy, there has to be some accommodation within that context to accept higher levels of inflation if that will allow you to provide that group with additional spending power, which may mean erosion of our real consumption, but it means an increase in theirs because they are faced with zeros or very close to zero. So this is an issue which I would like us to explore in this discussion. And in that regard, I would think that your technically correct analysis is sterile in that there is no assessment of the social implications of the policies one way or the other. And I want to encourage you, the younger members of the discipline, don't believe that your work is polluted if you then involve in it the social concerns. The social concerns are critical because you're not just dealing with an economy in an abstract sense. You're dealing with an economy as a critical part of the society. And the question, therefore, is how then can you adjust what is that which is technically correct to focus on the needs of our society? And that is the issue of the level of poverty, the issue of the percentage of persons formally employed who are surviving on incomes which are not only low compared to their colleagues elsewhere. If you take anybody who has traveled to Barbados, and even if Barbadians are in here, you'll know that to be true. The quality and the level of service provided in our tourism sector in Jamaica is far superior to, I would say, not just Jamaica, not just Barbados, but virtually anywhere else in the Caribbean. But if you then match up the incomes and the disposable income of persons in Jamaica, as opposed to our tourism workers in Jamaica, as opposed to those in Barbados, we are at the same conclusion, but in between the premise and the conclusion, I think there are several additional issues which I'd like to encourage you and CaPRI to turn your fine minds to assessing. Thank you very much.